And we're live. We're doing a Saturday smoke, but without the smoking, because there's no smoking allowed inside any of our homes, to my knowledge. MySoxSummer, can you confirm that or what?
Yeah, no, I can't smoke in the house. No,
okay.
And I probably shouldn't smoke at all. So
yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I feel like I never really vaped, you know, because I felt I probably could have vaped in the house, but I just. My cousin will always tell me, Farmer Matt will be like, it's vape. You can't smell any of this. And this last holiday,
like
100%. We were at a bar like around Christmas time, and he came to meet us, me and my wife out, and he was like, "Oh, you can't smell it," and he just took a big hit of it and just everywhere, and it just smelled like we were in Cheech and Chong's car. You know, like we were going down the highway, just smoke billowing out, and he's like, "Oh shit, you can smell it." And I was like, "Yeah, you can fucking smell it."
Shocking.
The guys at work, they were like, "Oh, I'm smoking this, cotton candy vape or whatever," and you're like, "I fucking smell it. Like I smell all of it. Everyone can smell it. It stinks."
How many years was he vaping, and before he realized he could smell it?
I mean, I think he's only been vaping for like 2 years.
2 years, and he couldn't smell the goddamn.
But it was 2 years in when he realized this.
See, this is what I think happens with Farmer Matt. I think he indulges a little bit, and then he forgets that he remembers about something. So he just doesn't. He's not like 100% there.
Chorizy, remember he's telling us a story one time. He's like, it was one of the opening days, and we had been commenting without him knowing about how fucked up he was. And he's like, I was holding it together pretty good. And you and I are looking at each other like, no, that's not reality.
Well, not only that, he was talking about how everyone else was fucked up, but he was fine.
He was fine. He was in good shape. No problem. There's always people like that, though. There's always people that are like, oh, you know what? I wasn't that bad. And you're thinking to yourself, they're slurring words, they're falling down, but yeah, you're fine. No problem. Don't sweat it.
Yes.
I never feel that way.
No. I think I kind of know when I'm a little bit too much or not.
I wanted to call this segment Saturday Night Live, but you guys said no and said it had been taken.
Yeah, I think so.
I think there's a show. I think there's a show that uses that
we could have yelled out at the beginning, live. It's Saturday Night Live. I thought we could have said that.
We should practice that though, just in case, because maybe we'll use it. You never know.
That sounds great. That sounds like something we will definitely do. Beef, I feel like you had something for us. You got something to do tonight?
I do.
Okay, you froze up for a second. I was worried. We were getting your normal freezing.
Oh, dude.
I was Max Headrooming shit, huh? I do have something. I was pondering some trivia. I was just horsing around on the interwebs looking things up, and I figured, well, I'd ask you guys to see if you know anything about any of this shit. I have 5 questions. These are going to be numerical answers that you guys will never get, but I want to see who gets closest to it out of the two of you. Does that sound good?
Okay. So we have to come up with a number ourselves, or
you're going to come up with a number yourself. No, you got to come up with a number yourself, just out of the clear blue. I just want to see how you can do it. We'll alternate who goes first.
Okay.
Because there's a bit of an anchoring. Whoever goes first, you're going to kind of like massage yourself around them because it's whoever gets closest. Okay. So I'll let Chorizy go first, and then we'll switch it up. So the first question is, you remember Reggie Jackson, how he almost killed the Queen?
Yes.
Okay. He actually also played baseball. I don't know if you guys knew that. He was an actor, but then he had a baseball career. How many stolen bases do you think Reggie Jackson had in his Major League Baseball career?
All right. He played like 20 years.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say
he retired when he was 41.
I'm going to say that he barely had any, but I'm going to say that he averaged in like the 3 to 4 a year. So I'm going to go with he had like 75 stolen bases in his career.
All right. MySoxSummer, what do you think?
I had in my mind 18.
All right. Well,
but yeah, go ahead.
Well, Chorizy's closer. Reggie Jackson had 228 stolen bases in his career.
Wow, that's way more than I thought.
He had a bunch of years early in his career where he stole 20 bases. So early on, and then you're remembering old Reggie from like RBI baseball, where he's fat and
because that's the Reggie I know, right? I mean, like that's kind of the Reggie I grew up with.
Yeah, you don't remember Oakland A's Reggie.
But even Oakland A's Reggie, like he was a slugger. So you don't always put that together until the '80s Oakland A's when you have, of course, Jose Canseco.
Right, right, exactly.
I gotta bring my shit here.
All right,
hey, side note about Reggie Jackson. Okay,
Yeah.
When I was living out in California, I know you guys probably don't know that because I don't talk about it. A graphic designer friend of mine was working for a jewelry company, and he did like their website. He did their like all their product shoots and stuff, and he like edited all the photographs. He worked directly with the guy with Reggie Jackson because he had his own jewelry line, Mr. October, and it was like, and all the jewelry was colored of the teams that he had played for, which I thought was brilliant because then the old fans from that team would buy the jewelry to wear when they went to the baseball game.
Okay.
But he also did work with the guy from Beverly Hills Chopper, which was Johnny Fratto, who's a longtime Stern guy.
Okay.
They just had like, he was just like all over the board with all the like people that were making jewelry in Southern California. It was just a trip. But
MySoxSummer, how much of this jewelry do you run into when your little sweeps
Zero.
when you go to the thrift
None.
stores? None?
None.
Oh man.
I know. I wish.
It's been
I
passed
really
down
wish.
to heirs. It's so
I mean,
valuable.
I really want green and yellow jewelry. That's
Right?
It says Reggie J.
I'm gonna have to get. I'm gonna pull it up. And I will put it out there on the Twitters. But yeah, it was some pretty horrendous shit, man. It was not good.
Right,
by the way, I'm high. Just so everybody knows, I made a trip to the dispensary today. I'm on a nice little 5 milligram pill right now.
No
So
one
I'm
would
good.
ever know that.
We'll get to that later in the show.
Maybe we'll see.
That'll close out the show.
Next question is Ozigian errors, but only as a White Sox. MySoxSummer, you go first.
How long did he play for? Like,
I don't know. Let's say 12 years or something
12 years.
for the White Sox, something like that. He got hurt the one year.
$48.
48 errors in 12 years. Chorizy, you're up next.
I feel like it's going to be low, but like I don't think it's going to be that low. I'm going to go 49.
You see, I was worried about some Price is Right shit with you assholes.
But that doesn't really, I mean.
All right, so I'll give a real answer.
I'll
give a real answer. So I will say
he would have shit if I was like 47.
No, do it.
exactly 100 errors.
Okay. Ozigian committed 203 errors with the White Sox.
Okay.
The shortstop. That's a lot of errors, you know? So Chorizy was correct there. Next question. Chorizy's got to go first this time. How many career rebounds did Dennis Rodman have?
Holy shit. Okay.
All of it, not just the Bulls, the whole career.
God damn.
So he played a lot of years.
Yep.
He played.
This is just regular season, no playoffs, just regular season.
I'm gonna say 3,000.
Okay.
Say like 150 a year. All right, no, that's terrible. Man.
That's not a lot.
I'm gonna say 15, like close to 1,500, about 1,000 a year. Wait, I'm thinking about this right? So 20 over 82 games, like 1,600. So it's like I'd go like 1,000 a year. Probably played 13, 14 years. I'm gonna go 13,000.
Okay. MySoxSummer, how about you?
I'm gonna say 8,000.
Chorizy's closer. It's 11,954.
Damn.
That's a lot of rebounds. When you initially said 3,000, Chorizy, he had 3,036 rebounds just with the Bulls.
Yeah, I was.
That's way too low.
It's been a long day. It started early.
You said 150 a year, and I was like, that's like 15 games.
And I was like, that's only two a game. So that's
a little bit more, a few more rebounds for Rodman there.
Hey,
right,
Jerry Reinsdorf, we got to sign this this Rodman character. He's getting 2 rebounds a game. He is fantabulous.
That's about how many Eddie Curry would get. He was a top draft pick. All right, My Sox Summer, you're up next, and this one's a tough one right here. This is the last two are the two toughest in my opinion. How many people have died climbing Mount Everest, including Sherpas?
Wow.
And I looked this up on a website in which you donated $3.16 to called Wikipedia to keep it going. Okay, so I expect you to come through with a correct answer here.
Oh my God. $20,000.
20,000. Chorizy, how about you?
I'm gonna go 500.
307. So Chorizy's very close, actually. 20,000.
I don't know.
Yeah, because
I mean,
when do they start keeping records?
every
Bunch of motherfuckers probably died. There's like a bunch of bounce home run dead people, and they don't count because it wasn't before a certain amount of time.
well, you got to think people have been climbing that shit for let's call it 100 years that that they've been keeping records of it. That would be like 200 people a year or something.
I don't know.
That seems like a lot. Man.
Like I feel like no
like
one
people would stop climbing it, right?
No one would try it. If like almost everyone died that tried.
All right. It's Chorizy's got to go first there. He's got a chance to get the clean sweep here. All 5 answers right. I've been watching a lot of Sopranos, and actually I'm in season 5, and it was just the episode where Finn shows up to work early, and he finds out a little something about Vito. So my question is this, Chorizy. Estimated, what was James Gandolfini's net worth at the time of his death?
Let me think here. I'm trying to calculate how much cocaine costs. So I could skim that off.
It's a good investment. Yeah.
I'll say he was worth $25 million.
Okay. MySoxSummer.
16 million.
16 is that what you said?
16, yeah.
16. According to a couple sources that I could find, the estimated net worth of James Gandolfini at his death was $70 million.
Oh my God!
Guy
really?
made a fortune on The Sopranos. Yeah, because there's not. I mean, he has film credits and stuff, but there's nothing really where I'm pretty sure he was making $1 million an episode or more down the stretch. You know, like the last few seasons of that. So that fucking money adds up quick.
Man.
Yeah, I mean it does, but you know, do you keep it all? Is the thing. Do you keep all that money? But like apparently, if he has money coming in, I mean, now as a state, like residually from all the Sopranos stuff, then yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I just don't understand how a guy can be worth that much and not have his own like tie line or like own shoe or something. That seems like a lot of money for like no merch.
Oh, like a merchandise. I mean,
you don't. If you have like producer credits on The Sopranos, like you don't need green and yellow jewelry. You can buy on those.
Now you might want it. You might want to have your own green and yellow.
Actually,
jewelry,
you know the funny thing is, if he had like his own bullshit tie line that he tried to put out, he'd be worth less.
I think that
who wants to buy a James Gandolfini tie? Like if he had a robe line, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Listen.
I agree with MySoxSummer. Every Italian at their graduation, like the years during Sopranos, would have that fucking tie.
We talked about this, right? Didn't we talk about this? Like
I think so.
It was like a Sopranos cookbook, and I was like, or was it you, Chorizy?
I saw the Artie cook when we were at the Mob Museum in Las Vegas, and one of the things they sell there is like a cookbook by the guy who played Artie. Like, who fucking cares? But obviously, someone's trying to make a buck off.
But that's so
you think Artie's probably worth more than Tony because because he's got this cookbook out and no producer credits.
But no. But
he took the money from the book and he bought shares in Berkshire Hathaway. So now it's like Warren Buffett and then him is next.
No, what I'm
Amazon
thinking, though,
stock after he got
fuckers. No, what I remember saying and during that was that, hey, this is a perfect gift that you get for somebody you don't really know at Christmas. You're just like,
Yeah.
oh, I heard
true.
you like The Sopranos. Here's a book from Artie, the guy that ran a restaurant on the fucking show.
He acted as a chef. He
said he ran the restaurant on the show. I didn't say he actually ran the restaurant.
No. I'm with you. I'm saying like that's why it's funny because he was
Fuck that. I saw
acting as that.
I saw him salting the sauce. I think he knew what he was doing, so I'm gonna buy this book.
All right. Beef, those were a lot of fun. I had no idea on most of them. And like I apologize for the gorilla math I was doing to come up with Rodman's stats, but I got there. I got there eventually, and I was close. I feel good. I was within like 1,000 on that.
Yeah, you were pretty close. I mean, like
once the mind started clicking.
You guys were low on the net worth, but you were kind of in the right range. Because to me, like anything above, like anything into the 8 figures is kind of a big blur for. So you guys were kind of in the right range there. Those are the tough ones, though. Like the Everest one's tough. The sports ones I think are a little easier because you can kind of map out seasons and kind of like get an idea of what roughly you think took place. But the other ones, the net worth and the Everest are kind of abstract. It's tough to even think about this.
You know, all I could think is what a shitty fielder Ozzie Guillen was with those 200 errors.
It's actually not a bad amount of errors considering his level of range. You know, like he had very good range when he was a ball player, so not too bad, I don't think.
So the other morning, I caught a little bit of a movie that I love. I know BeefLoaf loves, and I know Bonita Stakey now really loves. It's a movie. It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie called The Running Man. And now, if you're not familiar with this film, I know MySoxSummer. I don't think you've seen it. Basically, it's about a game show that's on television, and this is like a dystopian future, right, where the government kind of controls television, and like it's very violent and things like that. And so one of the game shows is The Running Man, and what it is they bring on people who are going to prison, and they make them a deal if they could get through this course. Basically, you know, it's a pardon, and you get to go to this tropical island and all this shit, right? But if you don't, basically one of what they call the hunters just kills you, right? So like you're fighting to the death in this game, and you try and get out of there. It's a Stephen King book, but under like one of his pseudonyms.
Is the hunter Papa John or Jimmy John?
No. So it's much more theatrical than that. So like they got a big like sumo wrestler guy, but he's in a hockey costume, and his hockey stick is actually like a huge razor blade, and he's like try and cut your head off with it, that kind of thing. There's a guy Jim Brown's in it. He just shoots. He has like a flamethrower that he's just shooting at people, and he can fly. So that kind of stuff. And future president Jesse the Body Ventura is also.
I was gonna say it features 2 governors.
It does.
2 U.S. governors. Yeah,
it does. And I
did
the
other one.
Arnold.
Arnold. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Some bad news, Beef. I did read the other day that Jesse Ventura was offered a nomination in the Green Party, but he turned it down. So he will only run if there's a runoff in the Green Party, and then he'll join back into the race. So
I'm glad to hear that news.
I'll keep an eye on that scenario for you guys, so you don't have to.
I'm gonna keep hope up. I know that. I'll keep my hope up.
But
just keep
back to The Running Man. My thought today was, if you had this game show on, like if you made this a real game show, which I'm pretty sure TV would allow at this point.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like a Netflix show or something. If you did that, but it wasn't necessarily prisoners. It was just like average people. You just go like, look, here's the deal. You could come on this game show, and if you get past all these hunters or whatever they call them, you get $50 million. But if not, you get murdered. How many people do you think would be in on this? I feel like there would be people who would do this.
Well, yeah. I mean, there would be 100%. I mean, there's people that are willing to get murdered for much less. You know, it just seems like I'm trying to think
So
like
what
the
percentage?
odds are like really like they're like decent odds, right? Like
No, they're terrible odds. You're basically going out there by yourself. Like I walk out, what I got on right now, right? No weapons, no nothing. Everyone else got weapons. One guy's got a chainsaw. He's got a motorcycle and a chainsaw, and I gotta fight him, bare hand. My odds are bad.
Well, you can't you don't have like found weapons or anything. Like you can't.
Whatever you find out there, you can use, right? But you're going into this like Chargers versus 49ers. Remember that Super Bowl?
Yeah,
like
I do.
You're like a 20-point dog in this, right? So, like
at least.
So I'm wondering, one, what's the percentage of the population that would be down to do this, and two, would you guys watch it?
Oh man, that's pretty savage. Like I would watch it. I'm sure I'd watch it. Like it would be brutal. But I mean, we watch terrible stuff already. We watch movies that have tons of violence in them. You know,
right? But that's not real, right?
Yeah, but I envision that they would have to make this seem like it's kind of not real. I don't know if you could just sort of throw it out there like that, you know?
Well, that's what he's saying though.
That's the you gotta suspend your disbelief, right? I mean, it would be above board and you can watch it, right?
Oh no, I don't think he's saying that. He's just saying
I'm saying like
he's like
you're watching Faces of Death live, basically. Yeah. This is what you're gonna see.
Oh man.
Obviously it's on cable or something.
I don't think I would watch it. I think it'd be too much for me. I don't think I would watch that. I'd probably want to know the results, but I would not want to watch it.
You just watch Sports Center to see what happens.
If I'm going to bet on it, I got to make sure I know what
happens. I was going to say, you bet on it, right? I mean, you got to bet on it.
I mean, that's the key right there. There's got to be betting on it. I don't think you'd have an audience of people that would want to do it. You wouldn't be able to make it as stark as what you're saying, Chorizy. There'd have to be the prize would have to be lower, and there'd have to be an element of you get some sort of weapon or whatever. And then what you'd end up with actually is probably, it wouldn't be just Joe Schmo off the street. You would end up with people who are specialists in a certain type of thing, and they would be looking to cash in on the money.
Right, like former Marines and shit.
Yeah,
right?
like Navy SEALs and shit would be the ones who would be doing it, and like they would have a legit chance. You're not going to throw Joe Schmo off the street in there because they're as silly as that is. Like people do the show Naked and Afraid for almost no money, but that's different. You're just surviving in the elements. No one's hunting you down and trying to fucking kill you.
And they'll pull you if you're gonna die.
Correct. Yeah. So you're in an environment where you can get out.
Just gotta let that motherfucker die.
Right.
Pull you.
Not in the show we're discussing here. You would not get pulled. You would be burned alive or whatever method they have.
Burned alive.
Well, Jim Brown's there, and by the way, all the people that would be hunting you would be the actual actors from Running Man, so they're older now.
Well, then I'm in.
Then you have a chance right there.
But it's still Jim Brown.
I can't hardly walk very well.
Yeah, Jim Brown has got like a cane and everything now.
It's just that one bunion. One bunion.
You might be able to break a tackle still, but I don't know if he'd be able to kill anybody.
So Jim Brown was like one of the original announcers for like one of the first few UFC fights. Like,
really?
Yeah, and I'm doing some research kind of research for a blog, and I was watching it, and Jim Brown is like commentating on this guy who's carrying like a big cross into the ring, like a big, huge like wooden cross. He's like, I don't really get the symbolism between Christianity and fighting, but okay. It's just really funny. It's like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing here. They did hopefully my check cashes.
So MySoxSummer, would you watch?
Well, see, that's the thing. Now see, your fucking asshole brother just talked me out of watching people get all gory killed. Like, because now I feel like it makes me.
Why? You could watch it with me.
Well, good.
Well, there's a difference, MySoxSummer. You like watching like UFC and stuff like that.
I do.
I don't watch that shit. I'm just not into it. So like the more it was being brought out there, like I realized, you know what, that probably would not interest me.
See, here's the thing about that though. I don't like UFC because I don't know much about mixed martial arts, so I can't really detect a strategy, right? Like at least with boxing, like I kind of get what the strategies are in boxing because it's pretty straightforward, right?
Well,
but like with mixed martial arts, I like when they're like rolling around on the ground and not seemingly not doing much. I'm not knowledgeable enough to know what's happening there and like who's getting the best of who and like what the strategy is that someone's employing there, right?
Yeah.
In this case, if someone has a big like chainsaw and there's a guy trying to like use a stick to knock it away, I get the strategy.
The strategy is death or not death
don't
by
die.
chainsaw.
It's don't die, and I can get that. I can understand that. I'm not the kind of guy that plays a lot of chess. I'm more of a checkers guy. So I can understand.
Well, UFC is right up your alley then. It's very checkers.
No, UFC is not. UFC is very chess. See, you're under analyzing what's going on because like when they're punching, like when they're apart from each other and one guy kicks the other guy in the face and his jaw typewriters, yeah, that's very obvious as to what's happening. But when they're on the ground and like people are just like maneuvering arms and legs around and like trying to pull things in different directions, I don't know human physiology enough to know like what they're actually trying to accomplish there. So it just looks like two people laying on the ground, not doing much. Guy with a chainsaw, different.
Yeah, no, I mean, in your example, definitely. I think that there's obviously one thing is a little bit smarter. I don't know, man. Like it does. Now it seems weird, like to have to watch, or that you would watch somebody like actually perish. I know that there's like a possibility that you would watch somebody die in a UFC fight or a boxing fight, but like usually that shit gets called way before that. But then it's also like you're watching people play football, and like it's not an immediate death; it's a slow death. So you just like, there's that too. So it's kind of like you're watching. It's all barbarian. You know what I'm trying to say?
Barbaro. I got what you're saying. Trying to say.
Yeah.
Watch that poor thing die.
Oh, how dare you,
man!
Barbaro
I just
steaks.
can't. I don't know.
Delicious Barbaro steaks.
I mean, if I'm not going to get judged for it, I probably would watch it. Like if I'm away from somebody else's like prying eyes and somebody's not like, how can you watch that? Because like, I mean, people said that about UFC too. Like they're like, how do you watch that? I'm like, I don't know. I fucking like it. Like they're like you were saying, they're smart about it, but they're also like they're doing what they want to do. That's cool. So.
Yeah. And I'm gonna call bullshit on BeefLoaf saying he wouldn't watch it because he definitely watched bum fights. So I know the kind of person.
Bum fights are way different. They don't have weapons.
That was me. Never mind.
I used to like watching backyard shit when Kimbo Slice would destroy someone, but that's just guys with their bare hands. That's a little different.
And those guys might have lived.
So
there's a few of those fights where you're like, that's a corpse.
So that's a good that's a good analogy, or it's an interesting thing. Okay, so Loaf, what if you had the guys that are going after the guy to kill him?
Yeah.
Right. But the guy that is the chase guy.
Yep.
He is trained.
Yep.
And he is maybe he's armed. Maybe it's like 5-on-1 situation. Does that make it 3-on-1? Does it make it different if he has like stuff at his disposal to like thwart off the people that are trying to kill him?
No, I think it's more like what the end game or what's supposed to be accomplished, as opposed to what could possibly happen. Something, right? People watching a NASCAR race, they may like the crashes and shit, but they're not rooting for someone to die during it, right? That's not that's not the point of the contest, right? And so like even in fighting and shit, that is not the point of the contest, to kill the other guy. But in this contest, that is the point.
What if they do it like cooking show style, where they have a bunch of like weird weapons that they're not quite sure how to use, and they're just like on a shelf, and they all run for the weapon first. But it's not like guns or anything, right? It's like the red wiffle ball bat. Like that's one of the things.
I don't want to know how they're going to use that.
Like a jump rope is one of them. Like you could kill someone with a jump rope, right? But but it's difficult.
Oh man, it reminds me. There was like a Larry David quote when Larry David was juicing. You ever see that episode, Chorizy? When he meets the woman and he's juicing, he's like, "Oh, you can't bring a jump rope to a fuck fight."
Is that when the pill falls out at the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, Cooperstown. The pill falls out. She's like, "You're juicing?" I envisioned supermarket sweep when you were talking about them going for the weapons. I envisioned them with carts and then they're loading the weapons up and seeing who can get the highest price. Totally lost a bit there.
I'm with that. Like that's the kind of thing, but it's just weird stuff. Like the kind of stuff that Frank Drebin ends up fighting with. Like all that.
The thing where whoops. I don't know. I still don't think I'd be into it. I think you guys would. Here's what would happen. Season 5 would have just ended and you guys would be talking about how great it was. And then I'd go back and start watching season 1. That's kind of how I am anyway. That's probably what would happen.
Let's just say I'll have the producer credits on this. Beef, you could have the cookbook.
Nice.
That's right.
MySoxSummer, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You guys want to do something like we'll play some show and tell?
Why not?
I went to the dispensary today and look at my little bag of fun. So now I found out today something because I had put some things on my list to give to my man Chorizy because I figured his lazy ass, or not lazy, you're not lazy. I'm going to strike that. His really busy and working all the time ass was not going to be able to get over to the dispensary anytime soon. So I'm like, I was going to go get you something. But I found out today that if you don't have your medical card, you can only buy 5 edible things. So products. So
I'm anxious to see how much shit you got that you couldn't possibly share. That this is only enough for you.
Don't be trying to bogart my shit. Now, this is stuff that I had already, but I've already shown it. I have these little relief pills. These are very minute amounts of like THC in them, so they don't really get you high. These are the bangers. These are the 5 mils. Those are really good. I like those. They're tangerine mints.
Can we go back one to the one before that?
These are mine ears.
What is that for? Why do you want that?
So when I first started getting this stuff, right? The one I had just gotten, I was trying to get done with all the nicotine, right? So I wanted something that was just minute amount of THC that would take a little bit of an edge off, but not get me high. And because I didn't know how I was going to react to it.
Yeah.
So this is like, I mean, people will laugh, but it's like, man, it's like less than a milligram of THC. So like it doesn't really do much. It gives you a nice little buzz because there's a lot of CBD in it. So it gives you like this body buzz. So I like that for this, but it seems to happen a lot quicker with other stuff. Now, like this guy, this gets you high because it's 5 milligrams. There's a lot of CBD in here too, and it's a 1-for-1. So like you have as much CBD, so it's as much body as it is a body high as much as a mental high. From what they've been telling me, that's what they say. So I that's from before. I bought these the last time I was there too. These are the Mindy's. That's the hot chocolate people. A lady, I guess. It's like a honey sweet melon. It's a 2 milligram THC, 2 milligram CBD.
Wait,
these are real nice in the morning.
What do you mean, the hot chocolate lady? What does that
so
mean?
There's this Nelson. I posted a picture of this, right? And Josh Nelson goes, "Is that Mindy the hot chocolate? Is that from Mindy's Hot Chocolate?" And I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And so I Googled it. It is this woman who makes this real fancy, nice, like hot chocolate on the north side or something. So
does it have weed in it?
No, it's just chocolate, but she gets the flavors for the gummies.
Okay.
And then makes these. So she doesn't have anything to do with I don't think she has anything to do with the actual stuff. She's just making the gummy and the flavors.
She's just a stoner that makes really good hot chocolate.
These are good. These are really,
Respect.
these taste really good. I like them. Not like, they don't get you real too high either. Now, I got these today. These were new. When I was in the waiting room, the guy was like, hey, do you have a list? And I was like, yeah, I got a list. Like, this is my first time, motherfucker. And so I started telling him what I want. He's writing it on the bag. So when I get in there, because they were busy as fuck. So he's like, when you get in, then, you know, just give him the bag and they'll just go grab it for you. And I was like, perfect.
Like
so I was like, huh?
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much.
exactly.
A little bit more expensive than Portillo's, but and actually better beef, but you know, whatever. So I was putting out I put this one on the list because they just look delicious. And it's the Mindy's people, but it's botanical white grapefruit. So I told the guy when he's writing it down, the guy behind the desk goes, oh, the white grapefruit? And I was like, yeah. He's like, that's good shit. He's like, it tastes really good. And then when I got in there and I said, hey, I want this, the woman's like, oh, those taste so good. So I can't wait to get high on those. Now, my last Mindy's thing I bought because Polish with extra onions had like 5 of them or something on his, when he showed us what he bought. Boom. These are sour cherry gummies. Now, these other ones that I get are like 2 milligrams. This one, 5 milligrams. So this is like an afternoon gummy. It's not something that I'm going to take in the morning because I have to be expected to watch the kids for the entire time. So I can't be doing that in the morning.
I don't even know what just got said. I mean, like,
I can be minutely high with the kids, not really high with the kids.
I just like that there's 2 times of day that you even considered for this, and they weren't like evening and night. They were morning and afternoon.
Morning and afternoon.
Like this is really high concentration, so I couldn't possibly take this in the morning.
No, it's probably not.
I have to wait until 3 p.m. because I'm responsible.
So a lot of times it doesn't start kicking in until like maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? So you like, if I take it at 3, then like by 4:30 it's starting to go, and then my wife's almost done with work, and then I'm not like the only one. She's not like, take up, the kids are on fire, you know, or hey, you know, anything like this stuff, you know, like it's at least I'm a little bit more covered. And plus I usually don't drive in the afternoon, and it's not advised to drive on any of this stuff. So I'm trying to be legal, you know, so just be nice, you know, be cool.
I mean, I know I did a drinking video at 9 o'clock this morning, but it was a weekend, and like I don't have kids, so so I mean, just the thought of you being like, well, I can only get this high because it's 8 a.m.
Well, I mean,
it's just kind of funny to me.
It's just to take that fucking raw corner edge off, and that's why I bought these.
Oh, so there we go.
These are not the same kind of things as the other one, but these are 14-to-1 CBD. So this is more body. This is no CBD whatsoever. This is just THC, and it's 2.5. So it will be like a nice spread out little high there in the morning. I won't take these in the afternoon unless I need to. I will save the afternoon for the big bangers. These will just be the morning stuff. Now, this is something I'm really excited about.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep count
Ready
here.
for this?
I'm trying to keep count here. You said you can only have 5 things. I think this
I
is going to be the 7th thing that you're going to show us.
Okay, these are the 2 that I already had.
Okay, those were already there. Okay,
and then here's the 4 that I bought. Here's 4 that I bought, and then there'll be one more.
Okay,
I didn't know all over the place.
I didn't know the 2 other things were from before. I
had it all.
This is the weirdest top 5 list ever because there's 7 things.
So I had it all in like a little like quart size Ziploc bag. Yeah. And then today I had to upgrade to the gallon size because I was like, oh man, I can't fit all my shit in there. You know, because I like to keep it sealed and then up at the top of the shelf because God forbid the kid gets into it. It's a goddamn gummy. Kids love gummies.
Right.
So now, I'm excited. Well, see, I'm not as excited because the first thing that I wanted a strawberry. It was strawberry watermelon sour gummy or something. I was like, oh, that sounds delicious. They didn't have it. So they hit me up with the sour mandarin gummies. So 1-to-1 CBD to THC. Now,
I thought you said sour man for a minute.
Now listen.
Go ahead.
There's 100 milligrams of THC in here, right? There's only 10 pills, so it's a 10 one.
Okay.
Oh man.
This is like, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna have to cut them in half. Like, I don't know if I should be taking 10 milligrams at any point of this in my entire life. You know, like I'm gonna try. Because the 5s I'm good with, and it feels good. I think if I got into the 10, I don't know. I think I might get too high.
So
I don't want to be too high.
How long do those take to kick in? Like an hour?
Couple hours. Yeah,
Couple
hour and
hours.
a half. Yeah.
So let's say Wednesday around 6 p.m. or so, you take one of those 10 milligram ones.
Yep.
And then we do 3 things at 8 p.m. like usual, and we just see what happens.
I don't know.
And we'll make sure that you host last. So
You
just
host
in
all.
case.
No, you host all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
You host all 3.
I don't know. I don't know. I
and
don't want to ruin BeefLoaf's great ideas.
Every
No.
every guest is related to you in some way.
That I would do. I mean, no, I wouldn't do that. I was talking to my dad about it today with all the different stuff, the edibles, and because you can, if you get a card, your medical card, you can get more than 5. You can buy as many as you want, but it costs $250 to get a medical card, and I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Don't
I don't
you have
need.
to also have a medical condition,
Yeah.
or is this just it's just
Hey,
pay $250 and you have a
listen.
medical condition?
My shoulder hurts a lot.
I could tell.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
My feet, they hurt a lot. Your back is hurting.
Yeah, from carrying this conversation.
I thought it was gonna go a lot better.
I love it. I actually really did enjoy this, because this is I don't know anything about this kind of THC intake.
This recreational stuff.
Yeah, I just don't know anything about it. Really,
I don't either.
It's interesting to see the products that are coming out, because
it's fun.
I went on one of the sites to see what they have, and it's almost impossible to find actual weed when you go to these sites.
So they keep a lot of it back for the medical people.
Okay.
So you have to be a medical person to get pretty much everything they have. If they have a high amount of something, they'll sell it to you. So they had some flour, they call it flour. I don't know.
Okay.
They had some stuff there that you could buy, but yeah, if you're medical, they have everything. So but for a guy like me who's taking microdose shit, that's what a recreational person is doing. These medical folk are I did today was funny because the guy bought a bowl at the fucking dispensary, and I was like, you can buy a bowl anywhere. Why are you buying it here? It seems like a waste of money here. And you can pick one up at the 7-Eleven, right down the street.
Yeah,
but the guy was like, no, man, this is that good glass. He's like, it could drop and it could bounce a few times and it won't break. And I was like, okay.
So let me ask you a question though. Does that get taxed the same way?
That I don't know.
Is this guy paying 30% tax on that?
Oh my God.
Sounds like a bad deal.
Dude, the tax it's a lot of money in the tax. That sucks. And so I also thought too that if you had your medical card, it was less, the taxes were down and the prices were down. That is not the case. It's exactly the same. So it doesn't seem like it really is you're getting much of a deal having it, unless you want to buy mass quantities at a time, which I don't need to do. So
right.
But yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's fun. It's real nice. People are real cool. When I envision the future, and I feel like if a young MSS smoking weed in high school could see this, he'd be like, God damn, that's amazing. And that's how I feel every time I walk in. It's this is capitalism. We didn't get Ticketmaster. I mean, Ticketmaster's getting theirs right now, but we didn't get Ticketmaster back in the day with Pearl Jam and all that. We got fucked by them. We've given them a lot of money. And now we're getting it back a little bit, slowly but surely. They're gonna learn. But man, legal weed and encased in gummies that are sweet and taste great and oh God, It's just amazing.
What a utopia.
What a time to be alive, right?
Just wait till we have my murder show. Then we'll really be where people have dreamed of society being for so long. All right, fellas. I think that's probably a good place to end this.
It's your dessert time, bro.
It is. I'm gonna go get some dessert.
What do you have?
Talk to you fellas later. That's none of your business.
Oh shit!
No,
man.
it's some kind of like.
Is it a Dole Whip?
It's like pudding and Cool Whip and some other stuff. It looks good.
Man, that's gonna be good.
It looks like something because I need to put some weight on, so I'll
Absolutely
working on this summer bod. I'll be in tip top shape for when we start selling tank tops.
We should get micro tops, micro minis. Yeah,
that'd be sweet.
Those little half cuts. I know Wally would wear one.
I'm in for tank tops. Do tank tops. I'm in. We'll wear them.
I love it.
All right,
it was fun, fellas.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
Take care.
See ya.